These are 5 of the best stretches to help alleviate lower back pain and help you to feel better fast. I'm Dr. Jared, this is my beautiful wife, Camille. One of the most common complaints that I get from the moms in my physical therapy clinic is about this lower back pain. And these are the stretches that I recommend to them, and these are the stretches that I would recommend for you, and I hope they help your back to feel better. And so Camille's gonna jump up here on the table, she'll demonstrate the stretches for us. The first thing that we want to do is create some anterior posterior movement in your pelvis. And basically what happens with pregnancy, if you've had a child, you know that there's some significant weight out here in the front. It tends to develop this sway back posture in the back that doesn't always go away after delivery. And so what we want to do is eliminate that compression, get your pelvis underneath you, flatten your back out a little bit, and help you to feel better. This is a great exercise to help you do that. We're going to do some anterior posterior pelvic tilts. And so right now Camille is down on her back, and what we're going to do, I can slip my hands underneath her back right now. She's got this arch that she has in her lower back naturally. What I want to do is take her pelvis, rock it backwards, so she's rocking her hips backwards. She's flattening her lower back down into the table. You would flatten it down into the floor. We hold 1, 2, and then we're going to create that arch again, and then we're going to reset. We're going to get back into that position again. So when we come up, that's an anterior pelvic tilt. When we go back, that's a posterior pelvic tilt. And what I typically recommend is spend about 3 to 5 seconds in each position, and then we're going to repeat that 10 to 20 times. And again, it's just a great way to reset that system, help loosen up your back, and to promote that posterior pelvic tilt position. Stretch number 2 is going to be a lumbar rotation stretch. She's still laying on her back. We've got both knees bent. Keep your knees together, feet together. She's gonna drop both knees over here to the left until we get a good stretch up through the right lower back and down into the right hip. Hold that for about 20 seconds, and then she's gonna come over here my way. Same thing, hold 20 seconds. Now with this, I want your shoulder blades to stay in contact with the floor. We're trying to create separation between your shoulders and hips, and that's where you're going to feel the stretch. And it should be very comfortable. 3 times 20 seconds each direction is what I typically recommend. Now, if you can tolerate a little more than that, the advanced version of this stretch, let's extend Camille's left leg out, and then with her left hand, she's gonna grab the outside of her right knee and pull over into this type of a rotation right here. So again, a little bit more of a stretch, a little bit more aggressive. If you can tolerate it, if this is still comfortable, this is a good alternative to that first option. And so again, 20 seconds, 3 times each direction is the recommendation there. Let's stretch out Camille's deep hip rotators. This piriformis muscle, it's down deep in your glute, kind of the top of your hip gets tight with a lot of people, especially moms. This is what I'd recommend for that. And so Camille is gonna, let's cross your left leg over your right, just in that position right there. So her left ankle is on top of her right knee. With her hands, she's gonna grab right back here behind her leg and then pull this right knee up into her chest until we get just a good comfortable stretch through that left deep hip. One of my favorite stretches, this one, I'm doing this one quite a bit. I know that you do this one quite a bit. 20-second hold, and then we can flip that over. So now she's gonna cross the right leg over the left knee, grab right here behind the thigh, same thing, 20 seconds, 3 times to each direction. The next one is going to be a child's pose. And so Camille's gonna get up here onto all 4s initially, knees below the hips, we've got hands below the shoulders. Now in this position, she's going to keep her hands right in this spot and sit down onto her heels and tuck her chin down into her chest. Now in this position, basically what we're trying to do is create this big arch from her tailbone all the way to her skull. Just a big, comfortable arch. Just take some nice deep breaths, relax into that, hold that for 20 seconds, and then you can come up out of it. Good, just like that, into that neutral position again, kind of down on all 4s. There it is. And now let's sit down into it one more time. And once again, this is a great stretch. If you get a lot of compression from that sway back posture, this is a great way that we can stretch that out and alleviate that. 20 seconds, 3 times. You're seeing a recurring theme here. That's the number that I typically recommend. And then the last exercise that we're gonna do is called a cat camel, a popular yoga pose, a great way to just work mobility in through your entire spine. And so Camille's down on all 4s. What we're gonna start with is an angry cat pose. And so she's gonna arch her back up towards the ceiling as high as she can. On this one, she's gonna actually do one of those posterior pelvic tilts To flatten that lower back out, we're trying to do this big arch all the way through. Hold that for 3 to 5 seconds, and then we're gonna come down into the camel or the cow pose. We're gonna arch her back just like this. And so now we're in this anterior tilt. We're arching the back here. You'll notice that her face kind of came up to the wall in front of her, just until it's nice and comfortable. Hold 3 to 5 seconds, and then we're gonna get back into the angry cat pose. And here the recommendation would be about 3 to 5 seconds in each position. It's more of a mobility type stretch. And then we're gonna repeat that 10 to 20 times. Now, if you really want to treat your lower back pain, it's a great idea to supplement these stretches with some deep core strengthening. In fact, we just launched a 14-day deep core ab rehab challenge. You can learn more about that in the description below this video, or here's a video explaining it right over here. Subscribe to our channel right here. We hope this helps your back to feel better, and we'll see you again soon.